So this is a sign for introduce or introductions. Introduce. And so the first thing that you probably already know how to say is hi. Hi. Or hi. Same thing in sign language. Or if you want to be formal, like you have someone that is your elder, you go, hello. Kind of like a salute, almost like, but this is the formal way of hello. And you can say hi, hi. And then how to ask, how are you? You go, how are you? Now, if you meet a young person that's deaf or hard of hearing, you may see some of them sign, what's up? Or they may sign it with one hand, but usually they go like, what's up? I think it's really cute. What's up? So you have hi or hi, formal hello, you have what's up, and then you have for how are you, you cup your hands like this, you roll or bring it in, and then you point to whoever you're talking to. So let's try it. How are you? So there's different ways of saying how are you and different ways of responding. So most people, when they want to ask how are you, to do the what's up, or they do how are you like this. And the way that you can respond to how are you is you can say that I'm good. So you take your non-dominant hand and you place it down like this for good. And the opposite of good is you turn your non-dominant hand and smack your non-dominant hand. This is bad. This is good and this is bad. You also have fine. This is fine. And a lot of people that we usually say already in a spoken language is, I'm so-so. You know, you're not good, you're not bad, you're somewhere in the middle, so you're like, I'm so-so. A lot of guys I notice in the deaf culture like to say, nothing. This means nothing or nothing much. You take the letter O and you just shake it. Nothing, nothing much. So let's review. You have good, you have bad, you have so-so, you have nothing or nothing much. You can have that you're happy. This is happy. And once again, we got to show that we're happy by using our facial expression. If you take your middle finger and you move it in a circular motion, this means excited. And also you have tired. Now you got to act tired. So you just kind of collapse like that for tired. You have sleepy. And then a sign that I really don't see a lot, but same old, is the letter Y with circles like this. So let's review. You have good, you have bad, you have so-so, you have happy, you have excited, you have nothing much or nothing at all, you have tired, you have sleepy, you have same old, you have good, and you have bad. And I forgot to mention sad. So sad is kind of like you're crying. This is sad. Don't confuse sad with crying because this is a sign for crying and this is a sign for sad. So another introduction that you will see a lot of deaf people or hard of hearing or people like myself use is they say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. So I'm going to teach you that. We already learned the sign for good, so this is good. And so what you're going to do is for mornings, you're going to take your dominant hand and raise it like this. And the way I remember this is because the sun rises in the morning. So this is good morning. And good afternoon is good afternoon because the sun kind of sets in the afternoon. And good evening or good night is good evening or night. The sun has disappeared. So let's do that again. So we have good morning. We have good afternoon. And we have good evening or good night. So another thing about introductions that you need to learn is how do I introduce myself? So I already know how to greet somebody, but I don't know how to introduce myself in sign language. Well, we're about to cover that. So usually if a deaf person or hard of hearing wants to know what your name is, they will usually sign, you name what? Or they could ask your name, and they can use like a puzzle kind of facial expression. So either way they sign it, they're asking what your name is. And the way you will reply is like, my name is, and then you will finger spell your name. So for example, my name is LamprA. And then if I want to ask, just to be polite, what the other person that I'm asking for, what their name is, I would do the same sign again. I'm like, you name, what? Or your name, and then I look a curious look on my face. And then they will finger spell their name. Now, a lot of deaf people, when they get done finger spelling their name, they will use a sign at the end of it, which I don't want to get that confused. That sign that they put at the end of them spelling their name is called a sign name. And a sign name is basically what you can understand as a nickname. So instead of keep finger spelling your name over and over and over again, usually people that are involved in the deaf community that are deaf or hard of hearing, their friends, family members give them a nickname that kind of describes their personality. So for example, my sign name is this. And the reason why this is my sign name, because one of my deaf friends in Tampa gave me this because they said I'm a nice person. Because this is a sign for nice, and so he replaced it with the letter L. And then some people have different sign names, like my son, his sign name is this for Solomon, because this is a sign for wise, and so my deaf friends replace it with the letter S. So it really just depends on the person's personality or a different trait that they have. So if you would like to get a sign name, the way you get a sign name is you got to dive into the deaf culture and you got to associate with deaf individuals in order to get a sign name, and only a deaf person or a hard of hearing person can give you a sign name. That's just a little tidbit of knowledge for you. So we already learned how to say my name is, and if you remember, that is my name is, and then you finger spell your name. And then usually a deaf person will tell you, nice to meet you. So the way that you would sign that, or way you would see that sign, is you go, nice to meet you. Now you gotta remember that meet is like this, or meet is like this. And it's kind of like two people coming together and kiss. Or they're coming together to kiss like this. Now, you have to be careful not to angle the meat down here, because that's a different type of meat that you don't want to do. So make sure that the nice to meet you is like this, or nice to meet you is like this, and then you point to the person. So usually a deaf person would tell you after they get your name, they would like say, nice to meet you. And you can copy the same sign back, or you can do a sign that means like this. That means me too, same here, or I agree. Another thing that you need to learn is farewells. So the way you say farewell in sign language is usually what we do in unspoken language. Goodbye. Or you can say, see you later. So I'll repeat that again. It's go, see you later. Or you can tell a deaf person to take care. And the way you do that is you do the letter K and you just kind of hit right here. This means take care. So you once again, you have like goodbye or bye-bye. Or you can say, see you later. Or you can say, take care. My personal favorite is I like to tell people drive safely, because some people do not drive very safely. So I like to drive safe. So once again, that sign looks like this. Drive like you're driving a car with a steering wheel. Safe. And then some people will respond back, same here, you too. And if you're going to see that person the next day, you can say, see you tomorrow. So you have see you later, see you tomorrow, you have take care, drive safely, and you just have the normal goodbye. So those are just your beginning of introduction with sign language.